Well. Good afternoon, West Ham fans. Russ and the West Ham Network. Hope you're all safe and well. Happy Monday. We're in the international break now, but the content still comes when it comes to West Ham. We've got some more of our high series coming up over the next week or so. We've got the Ludwig McClusker Appreciation Night. Hopefully, to get a couple of ex-Hammers on to chat as well. Maybe next week we'll do a Hammers hot take. So plenty to keep your teeth going into while there's no first team action. I was reflecting a bit from Sunday on Saturday. That makes sense. Yesterday I was reflecting a bit and thinking about it. It's like there's. I think Holly's going to do a show this week about the rebuild, and it just shows how much we've got to rebuild this side. Particularly that midfield, and we spoke about when we talked about Yunus yesterday, being linked with the AC Milan midfielder, and you got to think, and I really, that's the issue when you have a head coach come in halfway through a season. They inherit a squad which they have to try and get a tune out of, and I think we've seen building blocks, we've seen stepping stones, baby steps, and a bit similar to when Pellegrini left and Moyes came in, we were leaking goals. And the first thing Moyes did was basically sort out that defence. And for the next period, he had to sort it out again. And I think that's clearly for me what Potter's doing at the moment. And it's a process. It's a process. You don't go. Whereas someone like, look at Everton. Well, Everton already had a solid defence. They just weren't scoring the goals. We were kind of scoring goals, but didn't have a solid defence. So to me, it was always going back to basics. And indeed, we've been linked with some more defenders over the last sort of 48 hours, 72 hours. So we're going to go for that. We're going to do sort of a bit of a lunchtime headlines. And then we'll do the Hammers headlines later on. So in terms of a few players we've been linked with, why has that gone? There it is. According to reports, West Ham scouts were at Burnley's game at the weekend and further clarified in the Sun on Sunday of our interest in the Burnley defender Maxim Esteve. Steve? I don't know. We'll just call him Maxim. According to the Sun on Sunday, West Ham, alongside the likes of Everton and also AC Milan, ran me to throw it in there, all on the trail for the left-sided central defender, his signature in the summer. Obviously, Burnley have got an incredible defensive record in the Championship. They've conceded just 11 goals in 38 Championship games this season, with Maxim at the heart of the defence, obviously coached by Scott Parker. They've kept 27 clean sheets. Mental. And I think they've literally went like 3 months. I think it's only until recently they haven't conceded for the whole calendar year. Since the beginning of the 2025 year, I meant. But he's a good player, and I think he's a bit. People call him a Rolls Royce defender, and I think it's going to be about 25, 30 million quid. I think you have to part to get rid of him, to get him rather, and obviously that will depend. Obviously, if Burnley get up, I think his price obviously increases. If Burnley don't go up, then I think you probably get about 20 million quid. Good defender, he's a good age, and I think it will be interesting to see is whether that. I mean, he would obviously add some physicality. He's a tall lad. I think he's about 6'4", 6'5", I think. You're thinking that left-hand side would be really interesting. Obviously, it looks like we're going to welcome back again initially for pre-season. Whether that involves, maybe they'll look to sell him and bring in Maxime as that sort of left-hand side with Kilman playing in the middle. I didn't like at the weekend Kilman being on sort of the left and sort of. I didn't like the fact Mavropanos was in the side, unfortunately. I just didn't think he had a particularly good game. And Potter alluded to the fact that he only really brought him in because of the physicality of Everton. And I think particularly the goal, he lost his runner. So it didn't really work, really. So I could see Maxime coming in and being a really good player for us. Really good player for us. So that's the defensive. In terms of the attack, obviously linked to a ton of strikers. But according to my favourite Spanish media news outlet, Figes, love them, they reported on Friday that West Ham have set their sights on the Lyon defender, Georgios Michalendes. The Georgian international, a player we've been linked to before, actually. He's registered 12 goals and 6 assists in 36 appearances for Lyon, and he's valued around 20, which is under £30 million, which ain't bad for a 24-year-old, I think, nowadays, in all honesty. Someone who's on fire, who's scoring a lot of goals, he's getting involved as well in assists. 30 million quid, pretty average now, I think, to be fair. And we're led to be believed, according to reports, that West Ham will test Lyon's resolve this summer with a move for the 24-year-old, with the Irons board determined to launch an approach. That's a strange turn of phrase. Determined to launch. We're determined to have a go, basically. He was a star in the Euro 2024s, and has been a hit since being with Lyon. And just about, he's 24, so he hasn't really technically hit his peak based on average age. So the answer to our striking conundrums for the last 15 years or so, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But we'll wait and see. I mean, the fact is we've been linked with probably about 8 to 10 strikers already, like Youssef and Nesri and Tammy Abrahams, and obviously Georgios. Been linked with Amiga from Strasbourg, amongst a whole other host of strikers. So let's see what happens. And then in terms of going back to defence, should have done it before. We did Georgios, but according to reports, our interest in Carl Walker-Peters is hotting up, and we are apparently well positioned, whatever that means, for a move to sign the 27-year-old English fullback in the summer on the article calls it a Bosman. Do we still call it a Bosman? How long ago was that? On a free transfer. According to reports, he's been subject to interest to us and Spurs and several other clubs, but we are well placed, whatever that means. He's turned out nearly 200 times for Southampton, chipping in 7 goals and 11 assists. Obviously, he can play on both wings. So for me, comes in, can be an equal understudy for AWB. And similarly for Ollie Scars on the left-hand side, because I think Emerson will move on. So he actually can cover 2 positions and can cover 2 positions very well. So on a free, because we know it's never free, I think it's going to be business. I think it's a very, very, very good bit of business. And that is your lunchtime headlines, my friends. Thank you very, very much for your time, as per usual. We'll be back later on with the Hammers headlines, particularly when I press the right button. Take care, stay safe, stay humble. And look forward to seeing you in a couple of hours' time. It'll be an amalgamation of Hammers headlines and the Academy show. So we'll go through all the loan players, first team, Academy team, talk a bit about Academy news as well, and all that good stuff. So take care, stay safe. Much love. Bye-bye.